Hi everyone, good evening. Do let me know, am I audible to all? Let me know, am I audible to all? I'm checking the comments and tell me, how's this journey going on? You guys are preparing after going home? Means I know you're watching from the home itself, but still, after this live, do you prepare the solutions? Do you try to write the code by yourself? Do you try to, solve the similar questions? Do let me know. Am I audible to all? I'm waiting in chats. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. Now, what is the today's agenda is? Anyhow, we have wrapped our with math series, right, in the LeetCode itself. Now the array is running and upcoming is array with frequency counter. So we'll see that, what is it. But we'll see today's very, very important question. Okay, so I'll go to the Google Chrome and here we'll search for the LeetCode. Cool. I'll open it again. Today's question is third maximum number. I guess yes. I'll go here, I'll search. And this question, trust me, again, it's an important question. And this question has been asked in Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and Bloomberg, and other companies too. So that's why it's making a super significance to cover here. Maximum, third maximum number, right? Third maximum number. Cool. So let's see, are we seeing this? Yes. Can you see the acceptance rate of the solution? 36.5%. Even if this is a easy problem, but still there is a lot of understanding required for solve this problem. Cool. Cool, yeah, cool. I hope yeah, how to see. Hi Yogesh, hi Prince, hi all. Now let's read the problem statement and let's understand what is inside it. Okay. So third maximum number, like given an integer array nums. So we will have a nums array. Cool. Nothing special, right? Now return the third distinct maximum number in this array. Okay, hack list. Now again, they have asked like if the third maximum number does not exist, return the maximum number, which means that what we want to return is that, let's say there is an array, there are n elements in the array, we need to return third maximum number. If this is not possible, then return the maximum number, whatever it is. Cool. For example, in this, the third maximum number will be the one itself, right? Distinct means unique. Cool. Yeah. Here there is no possibility of getting the third maximum number. There are only two numbers, so we are getting the maximum number only. Cool. Here, look at this. The third maximum number is one itself again, right? So now, because the maximum number is 3, second maximum is second, and third maximum is 1. Now you will understanding what is the problem statement. Like you will have the an element in an array. Our job is to find third maximum number if it exists. So again, we'll go to the slides. We'll go to the slides and we'll see how we can approach this problem. Okay. You people don't like red. I'll take again in color edge yellow. Okay, cool. So now how we can solve this problem? We know that we will have an array. Anyhow, the nums pane. The nums is an array we have. Yes or no? So let's say it have 2, 3. So what we want is that if this is sorted, then we could say like, so we can say like the first number, if we know the length and it is sorted, then we can say this, right? But if this is not a scenario, right? This is not a scenario. So how we can solve this? We can have the values like, here 4 itself as well. So now what will be the third maximum value? So what we have to do is that we have to assume the things. The one way can be that slides are looking cool today, sir. Okay, Prince. Cool. If third not exists, then Yogesh return the maximum number. That I'll tell you. Okay. Now, what the logic is? What we can do? We can have 3 numbers. The first approach can be like we can sort the whole array. Sort. The spelling of sort. Uh, cool, yeah. Cool, cool. Hmm. Okay, so you can sort the array, and what we can do is that we can have the length is greater than 3, right? So we can have the third index, like the value, if we have whatever we have the value. So from starting, what we can do is that if we can sort the array from last third element, we can have last third element we can have if we sort the array, if we sort the array. But time complexity of this logic of the sorting will be n log n. That is a lot, and you won't be able to make the solution of this problem. So that's why the success rate of the solution was really bad. Was really bad. So now what we can have other thing. What we can do? Try other things. The approach number one was not applicable. So what will be the approach number two? Approach number two we can assume three numbers, like let's say nums one, nums two, and nums3. So what we will do, num3, what we will do, we'll store the largest number in num1. For example, we are storing 4 here, and in the num2 we'll store 3, and num3 will store 2. So if num3 exists, we can return this 2, otherwise we can return 4. Right? But how we can do this? How we can do this? Again, here, if we'll see the constraints, look at and go to the bottom, you'll see the constraint. We can have the negative values as well. So again, any of we want to figure out the maximum number, we have to compare the things. And again, if we have the negative values, we cannot assume the value of these variables num1, num2, num3 to 0. Why? Because if we have particularly, let's say -5, -5, -4, and -2, then the third maximum number is -5 itself. Yes or no? But if we are assigning all the values to 0, then it's not possible to compare. And what we have to do, we have to assume the maximum, the greatest value, the possible greatest value of what? Of the integers. Or means we want to get the maximum. Okay, so we will assume the minimum value, the maximum minimum value of the integer itself, right? So now what I will do is, I'll tell you the things. What is the problem are here? I'll take integer num1, and here I will assume integer dot min value as what? Min value. I'm assuming that num1 has the minimum value of integer. Cool. Then again I'll assume num2, which is again the minimum value of integer. I'll copy because I don't want to write this again and again. Cool. Cool. Now again end num3, and here we will do the same thing. So now what we have done is that we have assumed we have three numbers where we have assigned the value to the minimum value of integer. What we'll do, we'll iterate this nums array, and we'll keep updating the values. So how we'll do this? So for iterating, we will have a for loop int I equals to 0, I is less than what? Nums dot length. I guess everybody know these things now, right? Length th. Cool. So now I plus plus, and now what I'll do here, I'll compare. Like if upcoming value is greater than the num1, then I'll update the num1. Yes or no? So what will be the upcoming value? Nums1 will be the upcoming value. If this value is greater than what? Num1, and I'm assuming num1 is the greatest value, the largest value in the whole array. So now what will happen? The first largest value is num1, which we have assumed. So what we'll do is that we'll update it. So now again, tell me one thing. If num1 was the largest value, num2 was the second largest value, num3 was the third largest value. But somehow if we got that num1 is smaller than a particular value, then what we should do? We should update the num1 to that largest value. Again, num1 was greater than num2, which means the value of num2 should be now num1, right? And again, num2 was greater than num3, then the value of num3 will be the value of num2, which was previous value. And now we are updating everything, right? So what we'll do is we'll write here num3 should be the value of num2, because previously it was the second largest. But if you get another number which is greater than num1, now this will be the third largest. Yes or no? So that's why we are storing this in num3. And again, for num2, again, previously num1 was the largest value. Now it's a second largest. So that's why we'll store this in num2. Again, num1 will be the largest value, which means nums I. Does this make sense? Let me know. Okay. Does this make sense? Okay, now now I'll come here again. If this is not the case, which means whatever value we are getting, there's a possibility we get that value maybe not greater than the num1, but there's a possibility that we get the upcoming value which is greater than num2 but not num1. So here we can have else if another condition, and another condition is what if nums I is greater than num2 but less than num1, right? This is possible. Tell me yes or no, this is possible. The value can be greater than num2 but not from the num1. So in this case, what you will have, what will do, you need to update num2 with that greater value, right? So what you will do is that you will update the num3, because previously num2 was the second largest. Now because num2 has been updated, so previously second largest will now the third largest. So we'll write here num2 and again we will update the num2 the upcoming value nums I. Yes or no? Tell me. Does this make sense? Yes, this makes sense. Right. So now again what we'll do, we will have another condition. What if nums I is greater than the third value? Right. There's a possibility that this is greater than the third value and less than the what? Less than what? Tell me. Less than what? Less than the uh, num2. Right, this is possible. That upcoming value is greater than the num3. Okay, I'll explain. Don't worry, Deepak, I'll explain. Okay, I'll try run this and you'll understand each and every line of this code. Okay, so now here, what if this upcoming value is greater than the num3, and that time and less than the num2, that time we'll update what? We'll update the num3, because the third largest value is no more the third largest. So which is the third largest? The upcoming value num I. So now what will happen? Because I want to show you some errors, then I'll do the dry run of this as well. Cool. Because this is not possible. I know this code is need to be improved, but I'll improve this. Now tell me what will be the scenario? What will be the scenario? If you have third largest value, which means that the value of num3 will be updated. Tell me, if we will get anyhow from the array itself num3, then the value of num3 will be updated. And if this is updated, then this won't remain same as integer minimum value. Tell me yes or no. So now we can check here if what? If num3 is still is equals to what? Integer dot minimum value, then we can say there is no third largest value, which means in that case we can return num1, the largest value. And again, if this is not the case, then we can return the third largest. I'll try run this. Don't worry, wait. Okay, and you give sir, once I execute the code, explain the logic in whiteboard, sir. Sure, I'll do that. I guess I'll do that. Don't worry. Okay. Now here we are returning the num3, and anyhow I'm expecting few problems in this solution. I'm expecting, and that should come. Oh, not this one here. At least I could write here yes. Okay. Cool. Now, okay, double equal, not assignment. Cool. Now, let's run this. So it's working fine as of now. What I'll do is that I'll submit this. I want to show you something. Okay, I want to show you something. What happens when you have very, very large number? You're not able to handle. When you have very, very large number, you're not able to handle. So now you know if integer is not capable to hold a particular value, what data type we use? Tell me, what data type we use? Use long. After int in Java, there is a long only. There is long. So now what we have to do, we have to replace all the integer value to long. Right? Because for very large values, we cannot hold an integer because of the test cases. So now what we'll do, we'll replace this to long, and again you have to change this as well to long. Okay, to long. So now the minimum value of long integer, not there. Here I want to write L. Don't worry, I'll do the dry run of this. Okay. So now here I'll write the long. So now correct prince. So now yeah. Okay, I'll copy this whole at the same time. Okay, and now I'll paste this. Again, I'll paste this. Sometimes being lazy is good. Cool. Cool. But anyhow, what is the problem? You have to return an integer. So anyhow, we have to do a type conversion as well. But here we want a comparison of long minimum value. Cool. And here we have to do conversion while returning the value. While returning the value, we will convert to int type. And again, here we will convert to int type. Right? So now for handling the larger values, we can do this. Cool. Yeah, I know you want, but anyhow, I've told you that if at least I get 50 people who want in Python, okay, in normal comments, if I see 50 comments of Python, from that day only I'll start in Java and Python both. From that day. I'm too lazy. Cool. Okay, sir, the question is that this error due to the min value. No. Actually, the error, the problem was because that cannot handle the minimum value of the very, very large integer. Okay, of the very, very large integer. So that's why we have changed to the I know Java is cool, but anyhow, I can add the Python here as well because the logic is same. Anyhow, what I have to do is that I have to write the code Python as well. But at least I want people who really want this. Okay, anyhow, I have to take the approval from the management, and I can only get this once I see that people are here. They want. Right. So in the normal comments, you can write Python, and from the next time we'll come in Python with Java, along with Java. Okay. So now we'll see how this whole solution is working. We'll go to the whiteboard and we'll understand this how this whole solution is working. Okay. I'll go here. I'll tell you the logic once again. So I'm assuming we have an array. Okay, we have an array. So we have an array. I'm assuming, let's say nums, we have an array. Cool. In this array, what we have 2, 3, 1, 4, 5. Cool. So what we have done, we have assumed like we have 3 variables, long num1, right? We have assumed to long dot minimum value, min value. Yeah, I don't want to write a lot of thing. Okay, so value, I'll write the same thing again. So now the long, we had num2, again the minimum value, and we had num3, and again we had the long dot minimum value. Why we have done this? Because if we have very, very small value, even if we get something greater than this, we can update it. So that's why whenever you want to get something maximum, always assign the possible maximum possible minimum value, the minimum possible value. Okay, so you do this. Okay, cool. And I don't have a problem with CPP as well. I can work with along with 12 languages. So that is fine. But anyhow, I want people who really need it. But at least good number of people. Because anyhow, I have to take the approval, right? So now here, what can be the condition? Now the condition is that we have to compare the things. So what we were doing is that we were iterating the whole array. And once the iteration was happening, we have written the condition here, like if upcoming value nums I is greater than what? Num1. Right. So what we were doing is that we were doing like num3 is equals to num2, and then we were doing num2 is equals to num1, and num1 is equals to nums I. Cool. So now how is this working? We have assumed that num1 is the greatest value, num2 is the second greatest value, num3 is the third greatest value, right? So now tell me one thing. If there are three values which we have assumed that these are the three top values, three maximum values, and anyhow you get that the upcoming value, the nums I value, for example this two, anyhow you get that the upcoming value is greater than the existing values, then what you will do? If something greater than num1 was the largest value, if the value is greater than the num1, which means that now we have to update the num1, which means that if the num1 was greater than num2 and num2 was greater than num3, so which means that previously num1 was the greatest value, now num1 is the second largest value, because largest value is something else, which is this numsi. So what we'll do, we'll assign the value of num1 to num2, right? Previously this was the largest value, now the second largest, so we're updating to this. Again, previously this was the second largest value, num2 was the second largest value, now it is the third largest value. Why? Because we got the another larger value, right? So now let's assume that we had at I0 index we have 2. So what will happen, you will see, is 2 greater than the minimum value of the long integer? Yes, it is greater. If this is greater, so what you will do is that you will update. So num3 will be still again integer, the minimum value of the long. Again num2 will be the again the minimum value of the long, but num1 will be what? Num1 will be 2. Num1 will be 2. Now we were handling the another scene as well. Another scene as well. What was the scene? That if we were writing the condition, else if, I hope you understood, right? Cool, Deepak, cool. But anyhow, I'll finish this for the other people. Maybe when they will be coming watching the video, this will help them as well. So now here there's a possibility that if particular value, upcoming value is not greater than the num1, but maybe it's greater than the num2. Yes or no? It's possible. So maybe if num's upcoming value is greater than what? Is greater than num2, right? But it should be smaller than, it should be smaller than, it should be smaller than what? It should be smaller than num1, right? So which means we are having second largest value. So now what we will do is that we'll update it. So anyhow, previously num2 was the second largest. If we get something greater than num2, which means that now no more num2 is the second largest value. So what we'll do is that we'll update that num2 value to the third largest value, right? So what we'll do here, num3 will be updated by what? Num2. Because now this has been changed, and num2 will have the another second largest value, which is the upcoming value, numsci. Cool, cool, cool. Now what is the another thing? There is possibility that we may have what? We may have that the value of, else, should I change the slide? I guess that will be better thing, right? So we may have what? We may have this scenario, that else if the upcoming value, the value of, the upcoming value is greater than the num3, but it should be less than, num2, right? Num2, it should be less than. So now num2. So now in this case, tell me what will happen. We have to update num3 to the upcoming value, right? To the upcoming value. So that's how we were working. I hope it's clear to everybody. Right? So we'll do that complete dry run. So now what will happen? The num2 will be 2. So what will happen? This one if has been executed, we will have I plus plus. Now we have 3 as a value. We have 3 as a value. So if we have 3 as a value, you can see the upcoming value is greater than the num1. Num1 is what? Num1 is basically here. I'll change the color for pointing out. So here you can see what? Here we have this is upcoming value is 3 and this is 2. So what will happen? Upcoming value is greater. So now the value of num3 again will be the previous value of num2, which was the long minimum value. Again num2 will be updated by num1. So now the num2 will become what? Tell me. 2. And num1 will become 3. Yes or no? Correct. Again what will happen? We will have the another value which is 1. Now upcoming value is 1. So is 1 greater than num1? No, it is not. So this means this will not execute. Again see, is this 1 is greater than num2? Num2 was 2. No, this is not. Which means we will see the another condition. So another condition, this is upcoming value greater than the value of num3. Yes, because we had here the value of long dot min value, right? Min value. So obviously this is greater than, right? So now what will happen? It will be updated. So we'll have num3 as 1. Right? Again, what will happen? I plus plus, we will have the another value. Another value is 4. Right? So now what will happen? Here we'll see. Is num4 means the value 4 greater than the 3? Yes, it is, which means we have to update the things. So now num3 will be the previous value of num2, which was 2. So num3, now tell me what will be the value of num3? So num3 previously it was 1, now it is 2. Right? Again num2 will be have the value of num1. Previously it was 2, now it is 3. Again num1 will have the upcoming value which is 4. Yes or no? Again I plus plus, we will have 5 here. Again see 5 greater than the 4. Yes. Now the num3 will be updated. So num3 will have the value of previous num2 which was 3. So now the num3 will be 3, and again num2 will have the previous value of num1 which was 4, and again number will have value as 5. So what will happen? You will return what? 3 as your output. This is the third largest value. Tell me, this is the third largest value. Yes or no? The first largest, second largest, and the third largest. So this is the logic. Tell me what will be the time and space complexity of it. It's time and space complexity. We are running anyhow a single loop which is running till n time. So time complexity will be big of n. Anyhow, one loop is only running, right? So that's why time will be big of n. And what will be the space complexity? We are not utilizing even a single extra space, so which is constant. So TC is big of n, SC is constant. Cool. I hope it's clear to everybody. Do let me know. Did you enjoy the question? And trust me, if you are able to understand these questions, you have that brain that somewhere down the line you can have bigger packages. 30, 40, 50 LP, right? So because these questions are from the top, Fang and Mang companies, top product-based companies, but also they will help in the services as well. Cool, yeah. Wish you the best. I hope you will keep preparing, keep doing best, and one day you will come and will thank me, sir. Today I have this much of package, right? And this happened because I was consistent. Cool, yeah, cool. Bye bye to all. See you in the next live by tomorrow. Bye bye. Bye bye to all.